books today? Oh, okay, good. Just checking. Alright, so this is Claudia in the set. She's doing our class for her presentation. And, did you start recording?
I did.
Awesome.
Okay, so who here has a sister? Or an aunt or a mom? Of course, everyone. And how many of those women made it to the top of their careers? Surprising, right? Out of all the women in the world, you'd think that there would be more women at the top. Unfortunately, this isn't true. Out of the 190 heads of state, only 9 are women. Of all the parliament in the world, 13% are women. In the corporate sector, 15 to 16% are women. In the nonprofit, where you think that most of them would be women, since our nature is to be caregivers and to be nurturing, only 20% are at the top of their fields in the nonprofit world. Today I'm here to talk about the leadership gap that exists between men and women in corporate America. A little over 2 years ago, I became a mother, and I realized I had to work harder. I had to be the primary caregiver. I had to be the primary breadwinner, and I really want to reach my full potential. I know that I have what it takes, but learning what it takes to get there has been a difficult process. I thought that it would be really easy, and then I realized that I really can't have it all. I think that that's the perception, is that women can be superheroes, we can do it all, we can do most of the chores in the house, we can have full-time jobs. And it's been really difficult. I think that that's one of the reasons why women aren't reaching the top. The stereotype for men is that they're providers, they're deciders, and they're the drivers. While women, we're communal, we're caregivers, and we're nurturing. So what happens when these roles are challenged? Unfortunately, what happens is that women become disliked when they try to achieve more, and men are held to a different standard because that's in their nature. I think that the biggest proof for that would be the Howard-Heidi study. It was done by Harvard Business School, and I'll let you guys hear about it from the COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg.
And likability are positively correlated for men and negative. And everyone's nodding because we all know this to be true. There's a really good study that shows this really well. There's a famous Harvard Business School study on a woman named Heidi Roizen. And she's an operator in a venture capital in a company in Silicon Valley. And she uses her
Okay, so I'll just tell you about it. There was a study done by Harvard Business School, and basically they took a poll of 100 people, and they told people about this person named Heidi Roizen, except 50 people, they changed the name. They changed the name to Howard. It was the exact same story, except that one was a man, one was a woman. In the study about the women, they judged her equally as competent, and she reached the same level of success, but most of the people said that they would not want to work for her, that she's too political, and that she's difficult. Howard, on the other hand, was judged more favorably, and more people wanted to work for him. The only difference was the gender. I'd like to say that it's all in people's heads, and that it doesn't really exist, the gender gap, but it really does, and I think that that's the best proof for it. I think this is important because this generation, we need to know what's happening in our culture. We need to know what's happening with everyone around us, with our family. And if we want to be progressive, then we shouldn't act on our personal biases, and we should all work together. Thank you.